So I was scrolling through Reddit the other day and there was a post entitled "Mainland US Girl Wants Opinion on Going to College in Hawaii." In it, the person wanted to know if it was okay to come to Hawaii for college, even though, in her own words, I am somewhat educated on how difficult life is for Native Hawaiians and don't want to add to the problem. While I think the sentiment behind the post was from a good place, it seems like this person really doesn't know about what's going on in Hawaii. So I'd like to go over the post in its entirety, address some of the concerns, and offer my response as someone who was born and raised in Hawaii and is currently living here. If she ever sees this video, that's great. Think of this as just some friendly advice from a local uncle. Uncle? Man, I'm getting old. Or maybe this video will just help others thinking about coming to Hawaii for college. Hi, I'm a white girl from the East Coast, United States, who is planning on going to college to study and hopefully get a master's in marine biology. And my top choice is University of Hawaii. And that's a good choice. I wouldn't say UH is one of the top ranked schools, but at least you have access to the ocean. Initially, I was confused because it sounds like this person may not have a bachelor's degree yet and is just looking ahead for a master's degree. And I think that's great that she's trying to plan that far ahead in terms of trying to get her master's degree, but just some friendly advice from someone who went to college. You'll probably change your major. So I wouldn't get too attached to what you initially want to do. It's great that you know what you want to do, but it's okay to change, and chances are you're probably going to change. I would say that if you're just going for a bachelor's degree, maybe take some classes at the local community colleges here first, just to kind of get a feel, and you might change your mind. But if you're specifically looking at a master's degree program at UH, I think that's great. However, I am somewhat educated on how difficult life is for Native Hawaiians because of the overwhelming amounts of people coming to the pretty small islands for vacation or to move because they think it's paradise and either don't know or don't care about the colonization that Hawaiian people have been subjected to under the US and others, and how it continues to this day. Okay, so I'm gonna try to say this as nice as I can. I wish that you didn't say that you were somewhat educated about how difficult life is in Hawaii, because how you describe things demonstrates that that education that you received is, I guess to use your own words, somewhat poor. Like, it is difficult for some Native Hawaiians, but there are more than just Native Hawaiians in Hawaii struggling. The concerns you have may match the concerns of some of the people in Hawaii, but I wouldn't say that it's most. And that's okay to be sensitive to those concerns, but if you ever move here, you're gonna see that there are other pressing issues at hand that touch different groups of people. There are environmental concerns, economic concerns, homelessness concerns, affordable housing, etc. And I think that you'll find that most of the people in Hawaii are just trying to make it each month. Of course, we care about all of those things generally, but I think most of us are just out there going to work, taking care of our families, and trying to enjoy the simple pleasures in life. I'm not sure where this person got this perspective though on life in Hawaii. I'm assuming it's from social media, but that's just a certain representation of life here. And to me, it's kind of sad that that narrative of Hawaii is what's being put out there for people to see. I mean, yes, Hawaii's history isn't all clean. There's been conflict and fighting for power among Native Hawaiians against non-Native Hawaiians, as well as fighting among Native Hawaiians. I just don't want people who aren't from here to be so fixated on the past so as to place a heavy burden of guilt on themselves. In terms of people coming to Hawaii, Hawaii has chosen as a state to rely on tourism. We don't have much else going on, and that's what we're invested in to power our economy. That's our choice as a state. It may not be a great choice, and it would be nice to have that economy diversified, which was one of the things that they were going to try to do during the pandemic, but I don't see much progress happening there. But still, they tried. And so until we figure that out, diversifying our economy, tourism is going to be it for us, for better or for worse. And this next thing is something that I've been kind of wrestling with lately, and I haven't developed my full opinion yet on it, but I just wanted to kind of talk about it as I'm sort of figuring things out. I don't believe every person who comes to Hawaii to visit needs to care about the colonization of Hawaii or its history. Now, I'm not saying that it's not important. I think it would be nice if they learned about Hawaiian history and the culture because of its richness, and I do think that they're missing out on a lot if they refuse or they just choose not to discover it for themselves. But I don't think that we should expect them to be interested in that if they just want to come here, sit on the beach, and just have a nice time. Just as in the same way, Nevada doesn't make us locals learn about the indigenous people of Las Vegas every time we go and stay at the Cal. I mean, really, how many of us know about the Paiute tribe? I care about this issue very much and therefore obviously don't want to add to the problem. I would never permanently move to the islands, nor would I vacation there, but is going to college there different? It's not the same as buying up the real estate since I live in a dorm and I wouldn't be encouraging the building of hotels and or other tourist specific things. First of all, no one is saying you can't vacation here. If you don't want to, that's fine, but please don't feel guilty for coming here. Over 10 million people visited Hawaii in 2019, and we're looking to see those numbers recover pretty soon. You not coming here won't really make that much of a difference. You won't be adding to the problem. And as long as you're respectful, you're going to be fine here. Yes, attending college in Hawaii is different from vacationing, but I wouldn't say it's somehow better or nobler of an act. I think either are fine. For me, I left Hawaii to go to Colorado for college. I learned about the culture there, and never for a moment did I feel like I was somehow negatively impacting the culture. I mean, it was Greeley, Colorado, pretty much a small college town with a unique cow smell. But I will say, if you do come to Hawaii, be prepared for culture shock and paying a lot of money to come to school here. According to the UH Manoa website, non-resident tuition for graduate students is $1,402 per credit. With a master's in marine biology being 30 credits, you're looking at around $42,000. And that may change if you decide to qualify for in-state tuition or receive financial aid, but just know that it's going to be pretty expensive. I would also like to mention that there's Hawaii Pacific University as well. You might want to check them out for marine biology. And no, I'm not worried about you buying up the real estate, nor you being here encouraging the building of hotels. There are hotels being built, but not as many as the luxury condos we hear about in town. And if anything, tourists who use illegal short-term rentals make it a little tougher for locals since those units are off the market for either local renters or buyers, but that's an enforcement issue on the county level. But speaking of adding to the problems, a lot of the problems that we have here in Hawaii are kind of brought on ourselves. I won't go too much into that in this video, but just know that yes, it's affected by people coming here and staying or visiting. It does have some impact, but a lot of the problems that we are facing here in Hawaii, those are systemic issues that we need to fix as a state. And there are attempts right now to find sustainable tourism, right? Like, what is that perfect amount where we do have people coming in and spending money, but it's not so overwhelming that it negatively impacts the quality of life for local residents. But I also think it's important for us as locals to really think about and consider what would make our life better here. Besides the tourism stuff, what are some of the real deeper issues that we have? Is it education? Is it housing? Is it jobs or diversifying the economy? A lot of those things seem to be, to me, separate from tourism. Doesn't mean that tourism doesn't have an impact on it. So while tourism may be there in the background, it shouldn't distract us or prevent us from addressing some of these other issues. I tried looking up an answer to this on various Hawaiian forums and websites, but I couldn't find an answer. What do you think? Do you have an answer? And if not, any advice on where to look or who to ask? Anyway, thank you. I have no idea what Hawaiian forums or websites you're looking at, but you're more than welcome to watch some of my videos on this YouTube channel. If I were you though, I would contact UH Manoa's Marine Biology Department and even email current students in the program. The UH website shows pictures of the graduate students and includes their email addresses. I think they would be the best people to ask since those are going to be your colleagues in your schooling and they have the most experience about being in the program right now. And if you do look at the pictures, I hope you see a trend. Maybe you don't, but let me just say that most of the students don't look like they're from Hawaii. And that's okay. I think it's great that you have a graduate cohort that are from different places. It makes it more interesting. And as you're dialoguing with your colleagues, pulling from that diverse background from where everyone is from is going to be an advantage to you. Because if everyone was from Hawaii who went to this program, it would be kind of strange. And so if you're somehow worried about coming to school here from the mainland, contact other graduate students and ask them how they feel, because I'm pretty sure that they're going to tell you straight just how it is. So I hope that this is helpful to others who may be thinking about coming to Hawaii for college. But I think what worries me more is how some people may think this way. Like, who is educating people or influencing people to think like this, to have this type of attitude about Hawaii? I mean, is it TikTokers? Is it social media influencers who aren't from Hawaii, or out-of-state reporters writing about Hawaii thousands of miles away? Because it feels almost like an overcompensation for guilt that really has nothing to do with specific individuals. If you're thinking about coming to Hawaii, it's pretty simple. You come here, just be respectful. That's it. Just be kind and nice and compassionate. I don't know why it seems to be so complicated. I mean, if you just come here and are respectful, you'll be fine. And yes, there are going to be some locals who won't like you for whatever reason, because of how you look, from where you're from, the way that you speak. But that says more about them than about you. So instead, I think if we promote a feeling not of guilt, but just respect, and we as locals set a good example ourselves in respecting each other and our natural resources, we'll be much more welcoming to the type of people and visitors that will do the same. So thanks for watching, and aloha.